Hey everybody, this is Kodak here, and it's time for some more D-Spirits. Now, we've already taken a look at D-Spirits. It's an independent card game that they sent me some stuff and I went over it on the channel. There's a video about that. I'll include a link. But sadly, the worst possible thing happened. I did an unboxing of the booster box that they sent along with it, and the footage got corrupted, so I was unable to finish that. But we're going to make up for that today. So this is the D-Spirits Soul Snatchers First Edition, and to my understanding, the Soul Snatchers set is just like the base set, like we got before, but with updated artwork. So this is the updated artwork we got from like the sample pack. So we have, the original artwork was just kind of the picture, the character with the generic background. The updated artwork, you know, it incorporates like a scene, has a whole lot of cool little additional things added to it. Just gives it a general glow up of all the cards. There's the term. Along with a number of new cards. The base set, for example, did not include any of the terrain cards or the signature move cards, so those are in the new set. The original set was 177 cards. The new one is well over 200. So, although I can't say I'm entirely sure what's in this heckin' chonker, like this thing is the size of a pizza box. Not even lying. I have eaten some New York style out of a box this size. So it is very large. It's sort of similar to a board game box. It actually doesn't say what's in here. It's just a pretty blank back. I might have been something to fix up. But on the front here we have this suspiciously mythical looking creature called Firafy. It's one of the creatures in the set. It's the secret rare in the set. Card number 220 out of 219 cards. So yeah, it's about 45, a little over 40 cards larger. It includes some cards from a contest. It includes some new characters. And let us have a look at what's inside. I looked up what this thing might have in it, but I am not entirely sure. So I just need a good place to see if I can do it without also ruining my new blanket. There we go. Something about the blade, you always want to only make it so that it only touches dead air. And that's a trick to learn. I've seen, like, if you find like boxes in stores that just have a big like gash across them, it's because whoever opened it didn't know how to use a knife when opening it. So we have our slip cover with Firafy on it. Ah, okay. Nice little action-packed container here. Oh, and I'm struggling to remember all of the names of these characters. This one was featured in the, I think that's Fiendful. I think it's featured in the How to Play video. It's a 2000 that you can special summon from the deck. So let us have a look inside. And like I said, seriously, this thing is very large. Oh, it's actually, oh, here we are. Okay, so the coverlet was just a coverlet. Spirits from the digital dimension have invaded our world. 219 cards and a secret rare. That's number 220. Okay, it still doesn't have a list of what's in here, but let's have a look. Maybe the coverlet means I got a special something inside this box as well. So let us carefully slice through those seals there, which, considering the coverlet, might not have been terribly necessary. So now, without embarrassing ourselves, we should be able to open this thing straight up. And finally we have it. Ah, here we go. Oh, so it looks like we got a lot of fun stuff here. So we have a collector's edition box topper. We have a playmat. Looks like it's featuring a bunch of the creatures there. We have a packet of sleeves. We have a very large box. We have a rule book. And yeah, this is probably the most extravagant booster box I've ever seen, although I suppose if there's one thing that I might have done about this, maybe make it so that it could be used as a storage box. I've shown off my, although maybe this is something that they send out to people like me to really show it off. But yeah, I do like boxes that double as containers, so looks like we got a box topper, we got a new set of sleeves, a rolling playmat, and a new set of rules. And this also includes updated versions of the various cards. Like some of the cards actually had their effects changed. Like there was the Momo-chan card was originally basically Nibiru. It was basically a hand trap that you could play from your deck when your opponent fills up all of their card zones. Now you have to do it on your turn, and you cannot attack the turn you do it. But otherwise, it still does the Nibiru effect. It just is a bit costlier. It's still a good effect though, especially if your opponent uses cards that cannot that cannot suppress their spiritual power damage. So that's what happens is creatures have a spiritual power value that you pay when they get destroyed in battle, and the more powerful ones have higher stats. So the smaller ones, unlike in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where they create a massive hole in your defenses, in this case they really do chump block effectively. So let us begin with our special box topper first edition. Do they have any writing on what it might be? It might be a 1-for-1. Let's see what we get. The card is free of the bracing there. Let's see what we got. If it's Metal Seedramon again, oh boy. This is... Dolphiny. Okay, the one thing they haven't turned into a Pokemon yet. So, when Dolphiny is summoned, you can add one Water-type D-Spirit from your side deck to your hand. So there's 3 decks. There's the squad deck, where you can contain one of each character. One of each character in a deck of about, I think, 20 to 30 cards. There's a Sigils and Signs deck, which is basically like your effect cards. Those actually go into a different deck, but you can choose to draw from it whenever you're allowed to draw a card. And then there's your side deck, which can be a sideboard, but you can also occasionally use it as an extra deck and pull things from it, and that's what this thing can do. Once per turn, you can discard a Water-type D-Spirit from your hand to the D-World to negate Dolphiny from being destroyed in battle. While Dolphiny is on the field, negate the abilities of all Venomous-type D-Spirit. So it's a combined... That's just an effect that a lot of fairy types have. So it's a combined fairy water type that can prevent its own destruction. And that seems like it's pretty useful. It also conjures up its own defense, and if there's a water card that gains a benefit from hitting the discard pile, then maybe that's something useful there. And because it's water, I believe that means it counts as an elemental type. So yeah, this is not a bad all-around character. Alright, so we got a booster box's worth of packs. Yep, 24. And let's roll out this mat before I zoom in to actually open up the packs. Got it out fine before. Oh, here we go. So let's see what we got. Ah, there we go. There we go. It's a Damien battle mat. So we got Damien with his dudes there. He still has the little Mandart cut in there. So Damien is the one who gets Gargoyle, huh? We saw a few of these guys before. Like we saw Fairy Bit was one of the cards I showed off before. So yeah, nice. This is nice. So there's also a manga coming out. It was sent to me. It was not in this box, but I will be getting it soon. But I did get the Fairy Bit plush. Sent that along for fun, along with the Knuckle Slice, I think was his name, the Pizza Man. And Gangert, but Gangert's just huge, so I'll have to show it to you in another clip. Alright, we're gonna give this a shot. So we actually have a whole variety of booster packs up here. 11 card pack, first edition. We have Gargoyle on the front here. Spirits from the digital dimension have invaded our world. It's up to you to snatch them all up and harness their power. The D-Spirits game is meant to be fast-paced, strategic, and was designed to not be based heavily on luck or lucky draws like many other card games. Will you become D-Spirits Master? Alright, so made in China. A lot of these sorts of indie games kind of have no choice but to print in China, because apparently there's been some difficulty getting information on this, but so far it seems like anybody that doesn't print in China is either print on demand, which means there's absolutely no profit margin, or they just don't give you the time of day because you're not friggin' Wizards of the Coast. Anyway, let me figure out where I put my scissors. Alright, let us begin with the Gargoyle red packs. They have red, blue, green, and purple, all of which contrast nicely against the yellow of the text, so I suppose that's the idea. Alright, we have Chickadee. When Chickadee is summoned, you can search your squad or side deck and add a sound type D-Spirit to your hand. Once during the battle step, you can discard a sound type to lower a D spirit's power and endurance by half. Also, by the way, if you've never been on my channel before, hi, I'm Kodak. I actually go over all the cards. Rug Beat. When Rug Beat is summoned, every D spirit on your opponent's field loses power equal to their respective SP. So that's a combo right there. So Chickadee makes it easy to get out Rug Beat, and Rug Beat does a lot. King Ruffle. When King Ruffle is destroyed in battle, the D spirit that destroyed it must return to its owner's hand. Doesn't look like he has ridges. Clamp Clamp. Your opponent must return one D spirit from their field to their hand to target Clamp Clamp in battle. Ah, okay. I see, so it's a bit difficult to get rid of. But if it's one with an on-play effect, like Chickadee, that might backfire to you. Pillarpede. When Pillarpede is summoned, you can destroy it to Super D summon a bug-type D spirit from your hand, side deck, or squad deck. So there's a lot of pulls, a lot of special summons. Arakid. Oh, he looks funny. When an inanimate type D spirit is summoned, Arakid can be Super D summoned from the hand or squad deck. That's tempting. If Arakid was summoned this way, its stats are tripled. The effect remains active only while that specific inanimate type remains on the field. Oh, okay, so it's like spins a web. Catechus. Catechus we've seen. Catechus. Attica. Okay. When Catechus is Super D summoned, Batsu and Pen win, so they become really strong when they're teamed up. Sectofly. If your opponent doesn't control any D spirits on the field, Sectofly can be discarded from your squad deck to the D world to deal 700 damage to your opponent's SP. Okay, so this is something you'd combo with Momo-chan. Cannot be activated during your opponent's first turn. Alright. Spirit Break. Select one D spirit on the field and decrease its power and endurance by 500 points until the end of the turn. Okay. It's then destroyed by any effects activated from the destruction or negated. Oh, okay, cool. So it blocks destruction effects as well. That looks inappropriate. So our first special is Blitzwolf. Oh, that's one of the ones from the box, if I recall correctly. Blitzwolf can attack at any time during your opponent's turn, except their first turn. If you activate this ability, Blitzwolf cannot attack on your next turn, and cannot be soul exchanged. Okay, so cool. Alright, we got some interesting cards in here. Let's do this one yet. I think this one was actually from a contest they held. Not quite remember the name. There's a lot of names to keep track of. I'm sure I will learn them in no time. A lot of them are the sorts of puns that make you squirm. All right, so Penguin, there we go. So what happens is this teams up with Batsu and Catechus to become really strong. Frostbite. Oh, that's adorable. When Frostbite is on the field, your opponent cannot soul exchange D spirits or change their battle stance. Oh, that's nice. Blizzard. Blizzard can be Super D summoned from the hand, D world, or squad deck whenever Frostbite is summoned to the field. If Blizzard is summoned this way, its power is doubled until it's removed from the field. Oh, cool. So I got another combo in the pack. A lot of ice in this one. Are they in order? Oh dear, these are in order. Uh-oh. 77, although 37, 38, 39. Yeah, they're in order now. Beetle Terra. Let's see. Did that happen here too? 47, 48, 49. Yep, they're all in order. So I'm guessing the sheet was sent to the factory. This is why you pre-sort your cards, everybody. So that this doesn't happen. You want to make sure that you send your cards already collated. So the sheets are already kind of a mess. I've shown off these before. So Batsu is the final part of the combo with Penguin and Catechus. This is kind of interesting. Looks like it was 3D. Goblin can be Super D summoned from the hand or squad deck while Diamonite is destroyed. When Diamonite is destroyed or removed from the field. Diamonite is like this gigantic glacier-looking thing. Here we have Scorpion. When Scorpion is summoned, your opponent loses 500 SP. During the beginning of each of your turns, your opponent loses 500 SP while Scorpion is on the field. Oh, that's a nice one for the poison deck. Call for home. All these spirits on the field must be sent to the D world. This card can only be activated at the end of turn. Ah, so this is Dark Hole. We have Gym Room, a realm card. Oh, we got two hollows in the deck, and we got Gaina, which is one of the ones. I think that one's on the mat here. It's on the mat. Yeah, it was on the mat next to Damien. Kind of looks like XJ9. So I got two foils in this one. Neat. So the Gym Room increases human and sports types by 1,000, and I believe that's inanimate types lose 1,000. So realm cards are when you play them, you bid an amount of life points, and your opponent can try to beat that bid in order to get it into play, to prevent it from entering play. Gaina. Once per turn, while Gaina is in your hand, it can target and attack a D spirit on your opponent's field. Oh. When Gaina is in your hand. Okay. Gaina is unaffected by abilities that destroy. If you use this ability, you cannot draw on your next turn. Okay, so after the first time you use this ability, you pay 5 SP to use it. Still, that's just a from hand auto destruct. That's a pretty good card there. All right, so now we are on to our green one here, our electric Oni. I actually got the blue one in the pack, and these are like slightly more cumbersome but way more powerful versions of the Penguin set because they don't pull other copies. Yo Flame 61, 62, 63. I mean, if I get like a full set of cards out of this, I don't mind. Although I only get 24 packs, and I believe there's a lot more than 24 rares. Yo Flame. While Yo Flame is on your field, you do not lose any SP. Any D-Spirit ability or signal or science card that requires paying SP can still be activated without paying its cost. Wow. That's a combo starter right there. If Yo Flame is destroyed in battle after 2 of your turns, it can be super desummoned. Wow, that seems like it's a pain. Unless it was defeated by an elemental type. So yeah, that's the fire. I think the elemental types are fire, water, electric, and ice. I believe that's the case. Or they have a little E on them, so maybe water isn't. Arroglant cannot endure if you choose to activate its ability. In order for your opponent to attack your D-Spirit, Arroglant must be destroyed first. If Arroglant was destroyed in battle, okay, Arroglant cannot endure if you choose to activate its ability. Okay, so it can redirect an attack to itself. Kananji, alright. Kananji gains 400 power and endurance for each D-Spirit on the field. I'm not entirely sure what that kanji on its chest means, but we'll find out. 400 for each D-Spirit on the field, so this is something that Momo-chan would probably shut down. After one of your turns, it can be super desummoned to your field, so it has to be gone for an entire turn. So I believe it has to be... You have to let a turn pass before you can use it again. Karakara, which is also known as the Karakasa Obake, Haunted Umbrella, can auto-destroy any water-type D-Spirit. That is, I believe, if you attack it, it's automatically destroyed before damage calculation. In battle, after 2 of your turns... Okay, so it's that again. That should probably be a keyword. Donswar. If Donswar attacks a D-Spirit 1500 or more power, Donswar's power is doubled, so it goes up to a 2400. That's kind of a good come-from-behind card. There's Boulderuff, I already showed it off. Kind of doing its best Nibiru imitation here. Once per battle step, if Boulderuff would be destroyed by battle, it can instead negate being destroyed. Alright. Beetle Terra. I believe we saw Beetle Terra already. Batsu. Stance change. Phase through and Raffiti. Oh, I actually have the regular Raffiti, so looks like it's actually possible to get 2 rares per packs. If a spooky D-type spirit would be destroyed in battle, you can choose to negate the attack by taking a quarter of the attack damage to your SP. Oh, that's cool. So that's a special move, so that is also part of the Signals and Signs deck, I believe. So yeah, so this is a new card type we have not seen in the regular set. It's got a new sort of neato holofoiling effect. And we have Raffiti. To activate this ability, you must send the top 5 D-Spirits from your squad deck to the D-World, destroy everything on the field excluding Raffiti. It cannot attack the turn this is used. Okay, so this is sort of a... It's sort of a Black Rose Dragon effect. Or Rainbow Dragon, maybe. Alright. Kremlin. We call the Kremlin. Kremlin can be super desummoned from your hand or squad anytime you have 3 or more D-Spirits in the D-World, even during the battle deck. During our battle step, Kremlin gains 200 power for every D-Spirit in your D-World, so this guy's Lurgoyf. He might be pretty scary, especially if you combo him with Raffiti, who chucks a bunch of D-Spirits into the discard pile to use his effect. That can make this thing potentially very scary. So you destroy... So you have Raffiti in play, you get it in, oh, this one can super desummon itself from the hand or squad deck. So Raffiti comes out, it sends a bunch of cards to the discard pile, and then Kremlin comes in and does the damage. Oh, hey, it's Magikarp, and it's even a 100-100. If one of your D-Spirits would be destroyed in battle, you can choose to destroy Koi Fish instead. So it has to be destroyed by Koi Fish. Although you have to be careful with creatures that can destroy, that gain benefits from destroying things. If Reefman is the target of the attack, you can choose to negate the attack by returning Reefman to your hand. Marilyn! Once per turn, you can send Marilyn. I think this was a rare in the original one. You can send Marilyn from the field to the D-World anytime to super desummon Gorgonzola from the hand. Well, let's see if we get Gorgonzola or D-World. While Merlin is on the field, negate the abilities of all Venomous type D-Spirit. So fairies negate Venom. A Venom deck is one that does burn damage, and a fairy deck prevents that from working. So you might want a couple of these. Goblin, Batsu, Scorpion, Nomnuts. Nomnuts can be super desummoned from your hand or squad deck anytime a plant type D-Spirit is summoned. And I assume that includes on the opponent's turn. So this is definitely a card for the sideboard. There's a few cards for the sideboard. Stance Change and Seal Blockage. Discard 2 hearts in your hand. Oh, we got Bananard. Bananard. That's like a Yokai Watch looking character there. Once per turn, you can discard a food type D-Spirit from your hand to negate Bananard from being destroyed in battle. So it's like a weaker version of the Dolphin one, because the Dolphin can actually pull one for itself. D-spirits cannot be desummoned for 3 turns. This includes summons from the D world. Oh wow, that's... Oh, cannot be super desummoned. Okay, so this is like a lockdown effect. Discard 2 cards from your hand and switch a D-spirit's battle stance on the field. Stance returns to normal during the last step. So in the how to play video, they actually use this card to negate an attacking creature by switching its position. So that's so that actually has some flexibility. That's why it's 2 cards. That's why you have to discard 2 cards, because it can be played as an instant. Kremlin, Koifish, Reefman, Catechus, Sectofly, Gekon or Gekon. Gekon can be super desummoned from the squad deck at any time, even during the battle step. There's another one I think we'll find across it that goes the same way. Oh no, Dandelion. Cards with this name tend to be infamous. When Dandelion is summoned, return 1 D-Spirit from your opponent's field back to their hand. You can activate this ability again by paying 500 SP. This ability can only be used once per turn, so which is it? That might need some clarification. I guess the idea is you can only use this effect of Dandelion once per turn? Okay. Stance change again, seal blockage again. Oh, Paradactyl. Oh, and I got Fairy Bit. Yay! So now I have all 3 versions of Fairy Bit. That makes me happy. I have the regular one, I have the preview one, and now I have the special one. When Fairy Bit is summoned, you gain 1000 SP and an additional 300 during the beginning of each of your turns while Fairy Bit is on the field, and it negates Venomous as well. And Paradactyl can be special summoned from your side deck anytime a Wind-type D-Spirit is sent to the D-World from either side of the field. So that's another useful effect. He costs 900 when you take damage, but still worth it. On to the next one. So yes, you only technically need 1 copy of each of the actual spirits, unless you have one that specifically can summon more of itself. Once per turn, you can discard a D-Spirit from your hand to reduce the power and endurance of 1 D-Spirit on the field to 0. Oh wow, that's really strong. This effect remains as long as the target is on the field. The target is soul exchange or tributed. The D-Spirit that takes its place also has its stats reduced. Oh, okay, so this is a nasty guy. This is one that comes into play and reduces something to 0, so you want to be careful with your larger beasties, because then he can just run over it with the 1200. 1200 might be a bit much for how easily he can roll over things. Gunk. When Gunk is summoned, choose 1 D-Spirit on your opponent's field. As long as Gunk remains on the field, that D-Spirit cannot attack, be soul exchange, nor change its battle stance. And its spirit space is ignored, meaning that if the only D-Spirit on the field, the opponent's SP can be targeted directly. Wow. Okay. Nagi, got some poison types in this one. Nagi's attack targeting a D-Spirit's endurance points. The endurance points Nagi targets are reduced by 300. Oh, that's cool. So there's some that are like high power, but then they have like a defense of 0, so that's a good way to get over that. Nin Star. To summon Nin Star, it must occupy 2 spirit spaces. Nin Star can attack twice. I believe there's one that can do it 3 times as well. Dumplin. D-Spirits with power higher than 1000 before applying type advantage cannot attack or target Dumplin. While Dumplin is on the field, negate the abilities of all venomous type D-Spirits. Ah, so this is one you might want to use a removal effect on. So that's really all it does there, is just kind of sit there and exist. Although if it cannot attack or target Dumplin, does that mean if Dumplin's the only thing you have out, the opponent can attack you directly? That might be something that needs a ruling. Wootoot! Wootoot is unaffected by D-Spirit's effects. You can discard this card to negate the activation of a D-Spirit's effect for 1 turn. So this is, I believe, sort of like an Ash Blossom effect. This is the hand trap, and it's definitely one you want to keep handy in your deck that allows you to do some good stuff. Tuscan. Send a card from your hand, either from hand or either deck to the D-World to inflict 400 damage to your opponent's SP. This ability can only be used twice during your turn. All right. So it's not quite Cannon Soldier, it's like a cheap Cannon Soldier. Sun Sage. When Sun Sage is summoned, you can super D-summon 1 plant-type D-Spirit from the D-World to your field. So does that mean I can use Sun Sage to special D-summon a plant, then to special D-summon Nomnut? So that's a field flutter right there. Spirit again. Send 1 D-Spirit from your squad deck to the D-World. After 2 turns, summon that D-Spirit to the field. Alright. House of Horror. Ghosts plus 100, Humanoid minus 100. And Harpy Juku, kind of like Harajuku. Look at that face. One other pixie type D-Spirits you control cannot be the target of an attack while Harpy Juku is on your field. When Harpy Juku is summoned, you gain 1000 SP. Ah, so this is a really good fairy type one. It negates venomous ones like all the other fairies, but at 1700 body, it'll be a bit harder to throw off. That's neat. All right, on we go. I'm still hoping I can pull a Gangard. I actually did not get a Gangard in the box I had before, so we'll see if I can get it. Tintron. During your start step, you can discard Tintron from your hand to look at the top 5 cards of your opponent's squad deck, select one of the 5, and send it to the D world. Okay. Jinja. When Jinja is summoned, all your opponent's D spirits are changed to Endurance. Oh, that's a good one. Let's see, roll over some things. There's Phantom. Ah, this guy can be special D-summoned from the deck, although the idea is that he has kind of lousy stats, and you can special D-summon him again. Gasp! You can pay 500 SP to attack your opponent's SP directly, although at 900, that's a bit of a trade. If Gasp is destroyed in battle, it has the Spirit effect. Sun Sage again. Tuscan. Rain Sage. Okay. When Rain Sage is summoned, you can super D-summon one Water-type D-Spirit from the D-World or to your field, and raise the power of all Water-type D-Spirits by 1,000. Okay, so Sun Sage and Rain Sage, they're powerful support setups. Ugh. Ugh can attack using its endurance points, but it cannot endure anymore after using this ability. So what happens is when you're the target of attack, you can switch your character to enduring. It doesn't really have an effect other than allowing you to use your defensive stats again, although there's not too many that benefit from that ability. Call for a home. All D-Spirits on the field must be sent to the D-World. Oh, that's that again. Gangard's Lightning Strike. So I got his signature move, Speak and Ye Shall Appear. This card can only be played while Gangard is on your field. Discard 5 Lightning-type D-Spirits from your squad deck, and Gangard's power is increased by the combined total of their SP. This effect lasts until the end of the turn. So this is something you combine. This is something you either use as a finishing move. Oh, it costs 1,500 points to use. Wow. So this is something you use as like a finisher with. I assume this works with either version of Gangard. So that might be something to ask about. And Wallabrod. Wallabrod can auto-destroy any D-Spirit whose endurance is higher than its respective power. Oh wow, look at that. Good old Sasuke Samurai over there. On to a purple pack. Are these looking good for you? I'm hoping they're not looking good. Hoping they're looking good for you. I don't know if I can't really tell from here if they're getting blurry or not. Sharknivorous. Oh, does that mean it's a does that mean it only eats sharks? It can attack, auto-destroying any D-Spirit regardless of its ability. If you use this ability, Sharknivorous cannot attack or be soul exchange until after your next turn. So this is one that just punches one out of existence. Stingy! If Stingy remains on the field one turn after being summoned, on your next turn, on your opponent's D-Spirits are reduced by half. Okay, this ability can only be used once per summoning. So Stingy is one that you do want to use in Enduring, and at 2,500 it can endure pretty well. So this one might be the target for removal instead. Globby, a 0/0, yet it still costs 500 SP. When a gooey-type D-Spirit on either side of the field is destroyed, you can super D-summon Globby from your hand or squad deck. If Globby is destroyed in battle, you can discard a card from your hand to return Globby to your field. I guess this can prevent direct attacks, because it still costs 500 every time you use it. Chickadee, 2-foot! When an inanimate D-Spirit is summoned, 2-foot can be super D-summoned from the hand, squad deck, or D-World. If 2-foot was summoned this way, its stats are doubled. So how does this compare to the spider one? So we saw the spider one that's basically the same one. Can I do them both, or can I only choose one? Is the timing lost? There's a question for you. Crunch. When Crunch is summoned, you can destroy a D-Spirit you control that Crunch gain half of its power. Effect lasts until Crunch is removed from the field. Alright. Durag. When an inanimate D-Spirit is summoned, Durag can be super D-summoned from your hand or squad deck. It gains 300 power for each inanimate type D-Squad in both players' D-World. Alright. Another one to mix up with Graffiti. Oh wow, I got a lot of... I got Tyrannosaurus... I got another Graffiti! And Tyrannosaurus Rex. I guess Tyrannosaurus Rex combined with Hydra. It must be destroyed twice to be defeated in battle. You do not pay SP cost from battle until it's sent to the D-World. Tyrannosaurus Rex can attack twice during the battle step. So this is like a better version of Ninstar. Okay. Redirect. If you're you can redirect by taking the SP directly, taking half damage. All D-Spirits in the field must... Okay, that's Dark Hole again. So the Spirits and Sigils signs have a number of that they can have in play. Yeah, they have a limit to the number that they have in play, which is helpfully printed on the card itself. So, on to the next one. We are about a third of the way done. So yeah, a lot of cards that have a chain reaction to them. Marilyn, Stingy, Sharknivorous, Fungi. He's a fun guy. Fungi can be D-summoned to the field from your hand, squad deck, side deck, or D-World whenever a food-type D-Spirit is destroyed. So there's a lot of things that just kind of chain to each other. When Fungi is summoned, draw one card from any deck. When Rosaline is summoned, just choose one D-Spirit in your opponent's field and have its power. Alright, so that's kind of a weaker version of the singing one. Ducklin. To attack Ducklin, your opponent must play a game of rock, paper, scissors. If you win, the attack is negated. If you lose, Ducklin is destroyed, but you gain 1,000 SP. So in the case of a tie, so 2/3 of the, so in the case of a tie, it's still gonna hit you. You got Dumpling, Restore. Discard a combined total of 3 cards from your hand or decks to restore your SP by 1,000. Hopeful Summon. Super desummon 1 spirit with 700 SP or less from your hand to the field. So this is one I've brought up before. It's one that can attack on your opponent's turn if it has a cost of 700 or less. And I believe Ga'u can do that. I believe this is a card to combo with Ga'u because you can play this as an instant. This does flash in a creature. Oh wait, it means that Ga'u can do its direct attack because it has to be... You cannot use it the turn it's summoned, but if you summon it at the tail end of your opponent's turn, then you can go for it. You got Spoon and Flomantic. When Shining Spoon... Oh, it's Shining Spoon! Oh, so this is a special card. When Shining Spoon is summoned, you can super desummon Shining Spork from your hand. When both Spoon and Spork are summoned during the same turn, you can super desummon 1 food-type D-Spirit from your hand or squad deck. That D-Spirit gains 500 power while Shining Spoon is on the field. And Flomantic. Your opponent must pay 500 SP each time to target and attack Flomantic, even if the attack is negated. When Flomantic is on the field, negate the abilities of Venomous-type D-Spirits. Alright. On to another one. Getting some interesting one. I got 2 Raffitis, which is a bit weird. So now I have 3 Raffitis, because I have the base set version of it, too. Alright. Hut Tiki. Yeah, here it is. This one must occupy 3 spots and can attack 3 times. Okay. Whip Weenie. I don't know about that name. When a food-type D-Spirit you control is destroyed, Whip Weenie can be super desummoned to the field from the hand, squad deck, or D-World. And I'm saying, how many times can effects like this happen? Can I only respond to that destruction once? Paradactyl. Oh, a regular one. Was it always like this? Because I got like a silver printed one. Noodleim. If your opponent doesn't control any D-Spirits whose endurance is higher than Noodleim's power, then Noodleim can attack your opponent's SP directly for half the damage. Okay. Rain Sage, Ugg, Bold Rough, Donsoir, Redirect, Swampified Lake. Ah, I want this for the deck I've built. I've built a Venom deck, so that gives me plus 1,000. And Ratom. Okay, Ratom is the one exception to the 1 per deck rule. When Ratom is summoned, you can super desummon up to 3 more Ratom from your side deck. When Ratom is destroyed, it is banished. And you must pay its SP cost if it leaves the field for any reason. And so this is one you actually want more copies of, because it summons more of itself. So you can flood the field literally with 1 card, although it will cost you 500 SP each time you use them for something else. Alright, Camule. When Camule is summoned, choose 1 D-Spirit on your opponent's field. That D-Spirit cannot attack or be soul exchanged. Oh, cool. There it is, Vulcan. Vulcan can be super desummoned from the deck to the scene on your first turn. So you can super desummon it at basically no penalty, and it's a wind type, so it activates those effects. It's a card that I'd say is a staple because it essentially allows you to get a second summon on your turn, because something you can do in this game is you can return a card to your hand to summon a new one from your hand. So this allows you to essentially get out 2 power cards on your turn. Freezing Tundra. So we have another field card, benefits ice, penalizes water. We have Comeback, and it'll be played during your opponent's last step. If you lost one of your Super D-Spirits on your opponent's turn, you can Super D-Spirit summon from your hand. You can only do this once per turn. So that's another thing you can use for cards that need to be in play for a turn to do their effects. Quailazar. If one of your D-Spirits are destroyed in battle while Quailazar is on the field, at the end of the turn, you can super desummon that D-Spirit back to your field. So, of course, that means Quailazar would be the target of attacks when by merely existing. There might be some play in that. The fact that you can't have more than 1 Quailazar in your deck, so it's not like you can have them infinitely cycle off of each other. And I imagine it needs to be in play in order for that effect to work. All right. Oinkster. Oinkster cannot be the target of an attack while you control another Earth-type D-Spirit. Oh, there's Buttocks. Destroys all food-type D-Spirits, and the opponent takes damage based on half the SP of those food spirits. So this is something you put in a poison deck for like an anti-food card. Catnapper. During your turn, you can choose to discard Catnapper from your hand. When Catnapper is destroyed in battle or discarded from your hand, your opponent must discard a total of 5 cards from either deck. Oh, wow. So this is something that if you can recycle it and reuse, this is like for a mill strategy. Hood Rat. You can send 1 food-type D-Spirit from your squad deck, hand, or field, or hand to the D-World for Hood Rat to gain half of that D-Spirit's power. Oh, that might have some applications. King Ruffle, Rugby, Clank Clamp. Tetgurisu. By discarding your hand of at least 5 cards, Tetgurisu destroys everything on the field except for itself. So it's like it's like a different version of what is it, Rafidi? I got a couple copies of Rafidi, because Rafidi can do the same thing, but it can't attack the turn it's used. And Rafidi not only costs less SP, but look at that. Oh, you mill the cards from your deck. So Rafidi is just a better version of Tetgurisu, basically in every way, because Rafidi has a lot more combo potential, I see. Stance change, seal blockage, and High Diva. To summon High Diva, it must occupy 3 spirit spaces. So you have to sacrifice 3 spaces to it, but it has a 3,000 power body to go onto that. Kind of doing the Blue Eyes Ultimate pose here. All right, we're halfway there. Halfway there. Ooh, living on a prayer. Okay. Stingy, Sharknivorous, Globby, Chickadee, Ducklin, Dumplin, Wootoot, Tuscan, M-Bird's Infernal Wings. Oh, we got a signature move. So this card can only be played while M-Bird is on your field. For 1 turn, M-Bird gains 2,000 power and can ignore type advantages. Oh, okay. So so type advantages are a thing. When they fight against something of a certain type, they gain a bonus. Basically, M-Bird says, no, you don't gain the bonus for fighting against me. Call for home. All these spirits on the field must be sent to the D world. This card can only be... Okay, so that's Dark Hole again. And Frylucha. Any D spirit Frylucha targets cannot endure its attack. Alright. Alright, moving on to another water one. Had some fun ones show up here. Alrighty. Walrus. Any D spirit attacking Walrus loses 3,000 power. If an opponent's D spirit attacks Walrus but is unable to defeat it in battle, not due to another card's effect, your opponent loses SP equal to half of Walrus's SP. Okay, not sure how that might happen. Kremlin, Koi Fish, Tuscan, Sun Sage, Rain Sage. Are they the... Yeah, they're 32, 33. Ugh. Funky. Oh, the trash can. I wonder if this card is garbage. When Funky is on the field, all venomous D spirits you control have their effect calculations doubled. Your opponent's non-venomous D spirits lose 300 in power and endurance while Funky is on the field. So I assume that means they actually all lose 600. So yeah, this is a power card for Venom. Come back, drag you with me, and another Frylucha. Alright. Onwards. So I've gotten doubles of Frylucha and Rafidi so far. Arroglant again, Kananaji, Ducklin, Dumplin, Ghoulie. It'll get faster as we start to run out of basic characters. When Ghoulie is summoned, you can Super D summon 1 inanimate D-type D-spirit from your world to the field. Ghoulie gains 500 power for every inanimate type on the field. So there's an inanimate combo as well. Desperate Measures. Pay 1,000 SP, send 1 D-spirit on your field to the D world, and damage your opponent's SP by the SP of that D-spirit. Oh, this is something you... this is something you used to throw like Gangert. You throw like a full power Gangert at somebody and they take like 1,700 damage. This has a lot of applications. Send for help. Send, oh, there's Gorgonzola. I think there was a reference to that. Send 2 D-spirits from your hand to the squad deck. Shuffle, then draw 2 D-spirits back to your hand. Okay, you must show what you drew. And Gorgonzola. Once per turn, you can send Gorgonzola from the field to the D world at any time to Super D-summon Marilyn from your hand. Oh, I'm guessing they're the same character. Let me see. I have Marilyn. Marilyn was a common. Yeah, there she is. Flipped right to her. Perfect. So it looks like they're the same. Maybe they're the same character. Once per turn, you can send Marilyn from the field to D world anytime to Super D-summon Gorgonzola. Okay, that D-spirit. Okay, when Gorgonzola is summoned this way, choose 1 D-spirit. To D-summon Marilyn from your hand, squad deck or D world when Gorgonzola is summoned this way, choose 1 D-spirit on the field. That D-spirit cannot attack. Okay, so something is weird on the wording here. So it says Marilyn, you can Super D-summon Gorgonzola from the hand. When Gorgonzola is summoned this way, I assume that means when it's summoned by Marilyn's effect. It chooses a D-spirit. That spirit cannot attack, changes battle stance, or be still exchanged as long as Gorgonzola remains on the field. Okay, so I assume Gorgonzola and Marilyn form a combo. From the field to the D world. Yep. Well, anytime the Super D-summon Marilyn from the hand. So they might be interchangeable. If there's a way to get them back into the deck, they could be used to loop the effect back and forth. Marilyn can nullify the... it basically allows you to double up on Gorgonzola. And if you can get Marilyn back into the deck... Okay, Phantom, Gasp, Yo Flame, Araglant, Arakid, Catechus, Sectofly, Gekon, Greediness. Draw 2 cards. Okay, so we do straight up have a pot of greed in here, so that's called Greediness. Oh, Ga'oo's Roar, and I got Treacherous. I got a couple of serious cards here. Ga'oo's Roar, so we have a card for Ga'oo, which I assume can be used with Damien's Ga'oo. This card can only be played while Ga'oo is on your field. These spirits currently on your opponent's field cannot attack on their next turn, and Treacherous. I mean, it looks like that's his head, but that's actually a helmet. He's got a couple of drills for arms. You cannot draw while Treacherous is on the field. If Treacherous is defeated in battle after 3 of your turns, you can special summon it. So this is like the capstone of the spirit deck. You cannot draw cards while he's in play, but at a 2800 body, it will be difficult for your opponent to get rid of, and you can always choose to get rid of it with a soul swap. So you can always bring him back to your hand whenever you want. So he's a scary guy. Sneezo, Gunk, Nuggy, Ninstar, Arakid, Pillarpede. Is Pillarpede new? No, we've seen Pillarpede. Catechus, Sectofly, Call for Home. Oh, Recovery. So I have a shiny Tactics card. If your opponent damages your SP, instead recover points equal to half the damage. Okay, not bad. Rainbow Laugh and Navane. Oh, that's basically reminds me of a certain something. Navane. When Navane is summoned, auto-destroy all bug-type D-spirits on this field and gain half of their combined power. Navane cannot be affected by the effects of bug-type D-spirits. Kind of looks like Mawile, doesn't it? But I think it's supposed to be a pitcher plant. Alright, we are down to just 7 more packs. I'll show off the pack artwork on the final ones, I guess. So, let's see if we can get something interesting. Reefman, Marilyn, Stingy, Boldruff, Donswar, Beetlera, Batsu, Trunko, a spirit plant. When Trunko is summoned, select up to 5 D-spirits from the D-world and shuffle them back into the deck. So this would let you reshuffle Marilyn. Trunko gains 300 in power for each D-spirit you reshuffled, and it starts at a 0, so it can be up to 15, but that's not really what you use its effect for. If Trunko is destroyed in battle after 2 of your turns, it can be super D-summoned. Okay, Desperate Measures, Send for Help, and Cake Bad-Ear. When Cake Bad-Ear is on the field, D-spirits on your opponent's field cannot be removed from the field unless defeated in battle or destroyed by a card's effect. Okay, so it cannot be... This prohibits tributes and soul exchanges. You'd think that would be kind of obvious. I don't know if you need... Well, I guess since this is basically a redo of the first set, maybe that needs to be done. But odds are you wouldn't really want to do it that often. Bago. This is the new one. When Bago is summoned, you can choose it to name it as any D-spirit. Its summon also counts as a super D-summon and a regular summon. If Bago is destroyed in battle, oh, I see. It wears bags on its head and it's all drawn up. So it's like poor man's Mimikyu. It can be super D-summoned to your field. All right. Sneezo, Gunk, Wootoot, Tuscan, Sunsage, Rainsage, Beetlera. We've already seen this one. I think Beetlera, when summoned, all Earth-type D-spirits are auto-destroyed. Greediness, and Navane. All right. Gotten some repeats here. Just 5 left. Let's see if anything interesting pops up. Like I said, I'm hoping for Gangurt. It's the one I'm really pulling for because it has the ultimate Tyranno effects. Kowa, couldn't even finish his name. If there's another D-spirit on your field, Kowa must be the last to attack. If Kowa's the only D-spirit on your field, its power doubles, so it becomes a 22. Powwow. During your turn, once per turn, Powwow can gain power equal to the amount of SP you sacrifice. Okay, that has some use. Tintron, Jinja, Spork. Oh, there's Spork. When Spork is summoned, so this is the one that works with Shining Spoon. Oh, so there's Spork and Spoon, and there's Shining Spork and Shining Spoon. Okay, maybe Shining Spork and Shining Spoon are stronger. Tough Pup. Once per summoning, Tough Pup can negate an attack that it is the target of. After being attacked, Tough Pup's power and endurance are halved, so it can cut and it can negate an attack. That's interesting. Wrecking Bull. While Wrecking Bull is on the field, any D-spirit on your opponent's field that is attempting to soul exchange is destroyed. Oh, okay. So maybe this thing has an effect that allows you to pull it in on the stack. It is under 450. Pillarpede, Send for Help, Ember's Final Move, and Quailzar. I'm getting a decent number of repeats here, so we're down to number 4. Here's the pack art for Goyle. kind of an interesting one. I don't think I've gotten any of the cover cards yet. I mean, I have Frightful as from the original set, the one that we all missed on. Tiki requires 3. Whip Weenie, Pterodactyl, Noodlim, Gekon, Dandelion, Fungi, Rosaline, Stance Change, Negate and Destroy. Negate the activation of a D-Spirit's ability and destroy it. So we have another version of the hand trap here. And Witcheroo, discard 4 cards from your from the top of your support deck to destroy 1 card on the field. This ability can be used while Witcheroo is in your hand. You can only use this ability once during your turn. That's a really good card to have, though. I mean, here we are, the diver. I'll put his name on the link there. You can tell who he is. Like I said, I think he was designed by a contest winner. I don't know if I've gotten any of the contest winner cards yet. I think they're actually rares in the set. Maybe they're special editions. Magikarp, Reefman, Marilyn, Stingy, Young Bull. Oh, Young Bull's new. If an inanimate type D-Spirit is summoned, Young Bull can be super D-summoned from the hand or squad deck, and that's if any. So there's a whole thing where you summon an inanimate type and it allows you to, when Young Bull is summoned, destroy all inanimate type D-Spirits on the field. Okay. It's a bull in a china shop, I get it. Hedge. Any D-Spirit that targets and destroys Hedge loses 500 powers and cannot be soul exchanged. 2-foot, Crunch, Restore, Hopeful Summon, Pyron. Wow, okay, 3,000 power. To summon Pyron, you must pay 1,000 SP. You must pay 1,000 SP during the beginning of each of your turns to keep Pyron on the field. If not, Pyron is destroyed. So it says that you must. I don't know if that really works. He seems like somebody you'd want to try to give to your opponent to cause trouble there. And we have our lightning Oni. Like I said, there's a fire one, an ice one, and a lightning one that do the same thing as that small combo, but a bit trickier. Oh, Durag. Yeah, we've seen Durag, Hoodrat, Napper, Spirit again, Redirect, Treacherous. I got another one of him. Huh. All right, so I've gotten some repeat rares. Although considering the number of rares in the set, I was hoping for more rares. And here is our final pack here. Let's see if this one contains the miracle. It probably does not. Camuel, Vulcan, Sombero, Oinkster, Thug Sludge. Is this a new one? Anytime your opponent controls a food or an animate D-type spirit, Thug Sludge can be super D-summoned to the field from your squad deck or hand. It seems like you just don't want to run a food or inanimate deck unless you want to have the inanimate deck that benefits from all the summoning. Catnapper, Sneer can only attack targeting your opponent's SP directly. Your opponent can discard a D-Spirit to negate this attack. If Sneer is defeated in battle after 2 of your turns, it can be super D-summoned. Oh, this one just seems like... This one seems nasty. It's like Yatagarasu. They have to discard a card in order to prevent it from attacking you directly. That seems like it's really nasty. And there's Spoon. So there's Spoon and Silver Spoon are different ones. Okay. Desperate Measures, Negate and Destroy, and Basket Brawler. Basket Brawler cannot be affected by the abilities of sound D-type spirits. When Basket Brawler damages your opponent's SP, you gain 500 SP. Is this the only sports one I've gotten so far? I feel like it is. Maybe it is. I'll have to take a look. And there we go. That was fun. As a bit of the fun, I do now own every version of Fairy Bit, between the base set version, the sample version, the actual Soul Snatcher set version, and the plush, which I showed you before. A few things I noticed as I went through this set is some of the cards actually change rarity. Like Harpy Juku in the original one, same effects, same stats and everything was an uncommon in the Kickstarter set, but in Soul Snatchers it is it's actually a rare card. It's the exact same card. It has it's basically a stronger fairy bit that also acts as a gateway. It's the only target that the opponent can choose, although that comes at a higher cost, but just an interesting little quirk. And another interesting one was, I did not notice as I was opening them, but there are the shining versions of some of the D-Spirits. For example, we have Beetle Terra and Shining Beetle Terra. So the shining versions of these cards are more rare versions of the regular ones, but with some different abilities and maybe some different costs. Some of them are just straight up stronger incarnations of the creatures, but they have a higher SP cost to counterbalance that. We'll see how much of an effect that has. So these actually have the same stats, but regular Beetle Terra destroys plants, while Shining Beetle Terra destroys Earth. A more interesting one we have is Pterodactyl and Shining Pterodactyl. Oh yeah, the Shining ones are also borderless. I didn't notice that before. It's a kind of borderless full art, but it's supposed to be kind of like the Shining Pokemon. I'm guessing. Regular Paradeck Dude can be pulled from your hand or squad deck when a wind type is sent from the D world to either side of the field. Shining Paradeck Dude has the same cost, 900 SP, but has weaker stats, but can be pulled from the from the side deck. So you can pull that out of the... So there's the squad deck, the support deck, and the side deck. The squad deck are where you keep your characters. The support deck is where you keep the signs and signals. And the side deck is, you know, it's a sideboard that you can occasionally mess with. So this is like a sideboard like shoe-in. You can pull it from your sideboard anytime a wind-type D-Spirit is sent to the D world. I don't know if that would include using a Hoodoo to use its hand trap effect, but... That's an interesting concept. It's still pretty pricey though, and the same with Spoon and Shining Spoon. Spoon and Shining Spoon seem to have the same effect. Shining Spoon has more defense, and it also plus 3,000 versus inanimate. That's interesting. But they also have Spork, which allows them to special summon or super D summon a food type character, and that can be any food type character, but Shining Spoon actually gives it a buff. You can't actually stack the two together, so that's kind of interesting. I also, speaking of Beetle Terra, got one of the stankiest misprints I've ever seen. This is probably rare enough that I wouldn't be too terribly concerned about how often it happens, but still, that's some juice on that one. As for general criticisms, I would say probably one of the big ones is they have a lot of spirit types have an effect where they automatically resurrect themselves after a set number of turns, and most fairy types have an effect that suppresses the effects of the poison type D-Spirits. These occur on these cards so often, I'd make it a keyword. Like, maybe these have an effect that's called like Undead or something, or Resurrection or something to indicate that they come back from the grave. Like this guy would have Undead 3. They come back unless they're destroyed a specific way, but it's the same specific way every time. It's if they're destroyed by an elemental type, which I think is water, fire, ice, or electricity. But yeah, make it like Undead 3. It automatically resurrects itself in 3 turns. And the Harpy one that suppresses poison, maybe it could be called Vaccine. That kind of makes sense. That's how you prevent a poison or a disease from occurring. So maybe some keywords there, since they are such common abilities. Other than that, it was mostly just getting some fun things like Graffiti and High Diva. These seem like they might have a lot of potential. Graffiti, because it's basically Black Rose Dragon, even if it does cost you your attack step for the turn. If you can get this thing out for only 700 SP, the ability to wipe the board clean for just 700, even if it can't attack on its turn, it's still a 2200 body that your opponent is going to have to scramble to deal with after Graffiti wipes everything out. And High Diva, yes, it takes up 3 spirit spaces, and it can only attack once, but it's got that 3000 power body, so unless your opponent can beat over that 3000 power, they're in for a bit of an ordeal. But yeah, that is a fun little look at the new D-Spirits set. They actually have a manga coming out. They're sending that to me as well, so I'll be able to take a look at that. It's a game with some interesting promise. I honestly wish them the best. Again, this was sent to me for the purpose of review. But yeah, until next time, this is Kodak signing off.